Yeah, I think maybe the first spot, I guess, that I feel, kind of along the lines of what you're saying, that I maybe have become an expert in, at least at a coach level, is some of the hormone replacement therapy stuff. Like that's something I have done for the last like 3.5 years of my life, the TRT stuff. And, especially amongst men, really theoretically, that's become a massive thing because, anybody who's over the age of, let's say 35 and is looking to get more in shape, they've heard, through the grapevine, like their buddies are on, hormone replacement therapy. They've gotten jacked, they've lost body fat, they've done all these things, so they have to do it. And it's actually very accessible too. Like this is stuff that can be like provided over the counter through a prescription, and it's pretty easily accessible. Mm-hmm. So you could go to any like hormone clinic and like grab this stuff. So like that's something I would love to like kind of dive into just to help preface with people, because kind of to your point, it's like we have to go and assess this based on our specific circumstance.
Yes.
This cannot be something that you're just on a whim going and doing this because you want to lose 10 pounds and gain 10 pounds of muscle. And honestly, it doesn't just automatically work like that too. So that's something that needs to be known. But for me personally, why I chose to go that route, like I had a personal experience where through, some illness and then having to take some medication to prevent that illness, like my hormones got wiped out. Mm-hmm. And there was some, we were at a spot in our lives where like we had kids, and, it wasn't a thought for me to be like, okay, I need to preserve this function XYZ. I was just like, I feel like crap. I'm falling asleep at the wheel coming home from work and it's like 4 p.m. Oof. Like I'm eating right. I'm exercising 5 times a week. I'm trying to get good sleep. And like my body looks like this, like what the hell? You know what I mean? Like it could be better. And so I started diving a little bit deeper, but it's important to note, like I sought out like a trusted professional to like actually work with and get like appropriate lab work done.
You weren't just ordering it online.
Not just ordering it online. And then even from there, it's like, she's presenting the options of, hey, this is maybe a route you could choose. This is a route you could choose that would best fit your circumstance, versus like finding the first person that's just going to give you your 200 milligram dose of test and run away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it's just super important in that you're weighing your options. And when it comes to hormone replacement therapy, it almost in a sense is a lifetime commitment. Like,
yes.
And I think that's one of the key factors that people don't really assess, like when they're, seeking that out as an option. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of different options that if you maybe exercise a little bit more, maybe you supplemented with a certain remedy of vitamins and minerals, changed your diet a certain way, focused on improving your sleep, like you could naturally improve that. So I can keep going, but I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
No, I think there's a lot to jump in with here. Yeah. I think specifically when we're talking about hormone replacement therapy, and again, we're looking at this kind of from the perspective of like biohacking in general, right? And what we're doing, quote unquote, with biohacking is we're basically trying to, and that's the thing, I don't like the term biohacking because it sounds like you're trying to like hack your system.
Yeah.
I think the term is a little bit like dirty, like it has like some weird perspective on it.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. Trying to basically use advances in technology and medicine to improve the state of your physical being, and doing that through an understanding of like, if for example, I use like a red light panel, right? And I use that in the morning because I know I'm not sitting outside watching the sunrise every morning and watching the sunset every afternoon. Mm-hmm. So I'm not getting like a natural level of red light exposure that I would have, hundreds of years ago.
Yeah.
Or maybe the type of red light exposure that our biology and physiology evolved under or was designed to experience
Yeah.
for optimal health.
Yeah.
Right. So,
But now you can have this piece of technology that can intervene.
yeah, and it
to
can
kind of
help
replicate that.
exactly. It can
Yeah.
help me get more exposure to red light that I'm
Yep.
not getting. So
Yep.
I can wake up in the morning and I can, sip on some hot water while I sit in front of the red light and do some stretching instead of like having to go outside and make sure that I'm watching the sunrise to get that red light exposure.
Yep.
Right. So that would be like quote unquote a biohack.
Yeah.
Even though it's really just like taking some advancement in technology and understanding of what our bodies need.
Yeah.
And, using that to just help me be a little bit healthier. So same thing with hormone replacement therapy, right? Through all sorts of instances, like for your example, you got really sick and through overcoming that illness, the medication that you took like caused some damage to your body so that your body was unable to produce your hormones in the way that it did before. So like in that case, specifically, I think that something like testosterone replacement therapy or hormone replacement therapy has been like really beneficial for your quality of life.
Absolutely. And I don't want to take away from those benefits. Like you talk about, it's like hormone optimization. Like I'm doing these habits, X, Y, and Z really well already. And this is still like the kind of shit experience that I'm having. That's where this stuff can like truly intervene to help you kind of unlock that new, oh, I can get my testosterone to a normal level that a 30-year-old man should have. Like now I'm going to get the results that I need. So sometimes it can be that extra layer to unlock the door that you need to get through.
Yeah. And some people have like very specific issues. Like, for example, say someone had like testicular cancer and like, okay, they might need to be on TRT so they can have healthy levels of testosterone throughout the rest of their life.
Absolutely.
Where I think that we go wrong is that we just use it like a Band-Aid. And that's like the biggest difference I think with all of these quote unquote biohacks in general is like, if you're just trying to hack the system as like a cheat or a Band-Aid for some other thing that you're not bringing awareness to, or some other thing that you're not doing or participating in your life to manage yourself well, then it may work in the short term, but there's always going to be a trade-off long term.
Yes.
Like there's no, like I truly believe that there's not like a biological free lunch in that you can just like bypass some of these biological systems that your body is intelligent and very complex in handling, like our hormones.
And you have to be willing to make those assessments of the pros and cons list. Is it worth the cons that will come with this? Because I'm going to be honest, like my testosterone's through the roof and I'm getting great results and I'm feeling strong and energized and all those really amazing benefits. But this is something like I said, I've now committed my life to. I have to always be mindful of, finding a provider that I trust, that I'm paying to review my blood work regularly. I'm having to look at different factors like what is my estradiol doing? What is my DHEA doing? Like all these different levels within my blood work, because there has been moments where my estradiol has dipped and I felt like shit. My training's been awful. I've gotten hurt, like things like that. So it's a constant awareness of those things. It's a constant funding of money towards those things. I'm having to bill my insurance to pay for my testosterone supplements. So like I've now committed to that decision.
Yes.
For me, it was making the assessment that it was worth it to have that cons list because of the benefits. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, when we start playing with these things, let's take testosterone, for example, because it is such a popular one, right? For, any guy over 35, it's like, you should just get on testosterone.
Yeah.
Like just do it. Like your life will be better. But anytime you start like pulling on these strings, we don't have a full and complete understanding of the complexity of the human body yet. Like our understanding has advanced tremendously in the last 30, 40 years, but we still don't have a full, complete picture of what's going on. So you start pulling on one string and then you realize you're creating tension in the system somewhere else.
Yeah.
You can never...
And it's always that.
Yeah.
It's always a constant adjustment.
Yeah, it's a back and forth,
Yes.
right? So like say you get
You're
on...
never going to just like pull the right string and then forever you can just coast.
Yeah.
It's always that, okay, every and you may get to the spot where the blood draws that you're doing are a little bit further apart because you felt better or whatever. But yeah.
Yeah. So say you get on testosterone replacement therapy. Okay. You bring your testosterone levels up to a healthy level, or even maybe like a slightly super physiological level. Like maybe you're a 45-year-old male, but your testosterone now is hanging out around 1,000.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, that's on the high end for, someone who's like a guy who's in their 20s, who's really healthy.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you have to do blood donations every like 3 months because your red blood cell count's like shooting up.
Yeah. And that's something that like absolutely will happen. Your hematocrit will increase. Certain providers will have a different preference on whether you should do that or not. But I mean, that is another tier, another layer to what
like,
you have
okay,
to think
now
about.
maybe now you're needing to do blood donations.
Yeah.
And I'm actually like thinking of someone specific that I had a client that had this experience of like trying to figure out, okay, once they started, after a few months, they needed to start doing some blood donations. And after a while of doing consistent blood donations, now their iron stores are too low. So now they're like trying to be mindful of like, okay, do I need to get on an iron supplement, or how do I need to start making sure that I'm eating enough red meat?
Pull the string.
Yeah. So exactly. You're just pulling the strings, right? So there's this constant like, okay, adjustment of like, okay, now that I've messed with the system, I have to constantly be monitoring it and starting to adjust and pull the strings.